Hey everyone, Andrew from Educate here, and in this video we're going to take a look at how to use Python and the Domain Developer API portal to get property data in Australia, which is surprisingly difficult to find. If I want to get specific information like how long the listing was online for, sale price and history of prices for 1,000 to 10,000 properties in Australia, it's almost impossible to get that many records publicly and for free. So enter the Domain Developer API portal, which solves half of that problem. It allows you to download all that really good and detailed information, but the API limits you to only 500 calls per day, which means I can only download information for 500 properties. I was really hoping to download a lot more than that, like maybe in the thousands, but hopefully it increases in the future. To kick things off, sign up for an account, which is as easy as providing your email address and a unique password. An email will be sent to you with a verification link, so click on that. Once you're logged in, let's head to the Getting Started section, and the first thing we have to do is create a new project, which determines how you'll interact and what information you'll download with the Domain API. So let's head to the Projects page, click on Create Project, and give it a project name and description. I'll call my project Sold Prices, and a description of what the project is about. We'll then get to packages, and we have the option between agents and listings and properties and location, which offer different resources and information. The Getting Started document says to leave this alone for now, but I think it's important to cover it off because depending on what information you want to retrieve, you'll need to pick the correct package. So to check what we can access with each package, let's click on the Plans and Packages drop-down menu and click on Package Features. You'll then get a breakdown of each endpoint you can access with each package. Quick side note, by default, your account will be provisioned with an innovation profile, so refer to that column. For this example, since I want the sold prices, I'll be using the Properties and Location package. If we scroll down, we want the Read endpoint under Properties, which falls under the Properties and Location package. Click into this page. We'll need to come back to this soon, but we'll need to note down the scope and get URL. So we'll go back to our project details page and select Properties and Location and click Save. Awesome, step 1's done. The next step is to create a project key, which will determine how we authenticate with the Domain API. The documentation here says to click on the API Clients menu, but that's been replaced with Credentials. So let's go back to our project page and click on Credentials and click Create OAuth Client. Select Client Credentials as the grant type and provide a client URL, which I think will be used like an app name. I'll just put my website in there. The other two fields are optional here, so we can leave these alone. However, I am curious to know where the redirect URL goes to if it's not specified. Click on Save Changes, then under OAuth Client Secrets, we'll include a secret description. I've just typed something arbitrary in here, and we'll click Add. The last piece of information we need is the token authentication URL, which we can get from the Client Credentials grant from the Authorization drop-down menu. The hard part is over. Now that you've got everything you need to get an access token, i.e. the client ID, client secret, scope, and authentication URL, we can now put them in our Python script, so let's open it up. This is a pretty straightforward script. I'm importing the requests and JSON libraries and adding the client ID, secret, scope, auth URL, and API endpoint as variables. We then have a function to generate an access token based on the variables above, and using that token, we look up a properties page which returns all the data we need in a JSON. If you have any questions about the code, please drop me a line in the comments or go to the URL below for a more in-depth description. You can now use different endpoints to retrieve other details. Let me know how you go in the comments. One more side note I'll add is somewhere in the Domain Developer portal, I remember seeing a note that said different endpoints use different authorization methods, so the client credentials grant type that we've used may not work on all endpoints. You may need to go back into credentials in the project page and choose authorization code or implicit. If you liked this video and would like to see more videos like this, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. The internet points really mean a lot to me. Hope to catch you in the next one. See ya!